let's talk about character, and let's talk about this book, and let's talk about this country, and where you think we are as a country when it comes to character, and what you even think character means. I'd say anymore, because it feels like over the years, at least I've been alive, the idea of character in some way has been debased. And I don't say that as a political statement, just feels like there's something amiss.
I think back to the greatest generation and what they represented, my grandparents, and I kind of see where we are today. It doesn't feel like we give as much.
I think that character is the essence of us, and it's best reflected in what we do, not what we say, not our brand or what we write or proclaim. It's what our actions are. And if we really step back on an individual level and we look and we say, okay, how do I conduct myself in the little ways and also in the big ways? What is our culture really? And what do our children see? What do our grandchildren see? I've defined character in the book as a mathematical equation, which is amazing since I'm terrible at math, but it's the product of your convictions, your deeply held beliefs, but also your discipline, because you can have great convictions but no discipline and not live to them, and they become zero, or vice versa. I think in America, what we've allowed it to do is erode to the point where we don't have standards. We don't demand character. I went to West Point when I was 17, and they had a very strict honor code. And the purpose of the honor code was not to make sure that West Point's an honest place. It's only 4 years. It was designed to mold in the people who went there the habit, the culture of honor that hopefully would carry on through the rest of your lives. To a great degree, I think that works. And I think what we've done in society is we've now normalized or accepted behavior. We accept, and I'm going to knock on politicians, but they're not alone. They will get in front of a camera and they will say something that they know is untrue, and they know we know is untrue.
Right.
And yet we accept it with some strange agreement we have that says, well, because they're politicians. But it's more wide than politicians. And so we are really guilty. All of us. We can't blame this on any single individual. They're symptoms. The cause is at our level, at the
I would say it's a
level.
reflection of us.
That's right.
I mean, it's really a reflection of society. If you see social media and how it plays out, what we cheer for.
Who we vote for, who we put our money to. That's why I'm trying to start a national conversation on character. Now, it's not me starting, and I'm hoping it will start, and I can help in a small way. If we all start talking about it, and we start deciding what do we really want from each other, you start to hold yourself to a higher standard.
So maybe this is too philosophical of a question.
Yeah.
But when you think about character, one of the things that's happened, I think, in this country is that there was a view that so-called experts comported themselves in a particular way to appear as if they had character, but maybe didn't always. And they would stab you in the back and not in the front.
Yeah.
And that there has been a view that is a disgrace, and that another sort of version of the world, sort of where you stab people in the front and you lie straight up.
Right.
And it's sort of a little bit of a UFC sort of way. No, I think like there's something happening where that is somehow considered more honest, actually. That actually this sort of other approach didn't work. And by the way, I wrestle with the whole thing. And so I'm curious sort of where you land on that.
Are either of them worse, or they both suck?
Yeah, well, that's a great point, Craig. I agree with you. And I actually don't have a great answer for that, because we go back to some of the best leaders in American history who had a dark side, whether they owned slaves and protected them, or they were philanderers, or any number of things. And yet, on the macro sense, they made huge contributions. I still come back to being too open about our lack of character just lowers the standards even more. Right. I think there needs to be some kind of pressure. If you're going to be a scoundrel, at least limit that to what people don't see. That's not a perfect answer, but...
Okay, final question for you, which is you have been talking for years, as long as I have known you, about trying to get a national service program going in this country, which I've always thought is quite brilliant, and also something that might help instill some character, or at least get people together to talk and have the conversation that I think you're intending. Where are we on that, and what has held it back this long?
We've had small pockets of it, City or AmeriCorps, people doing great things, but in reality, we've never been able to get out of first or second gear. The Peace Corps is a small size compared to what I think it could and should be. I think
Teach for America. You think?
Yeah, exactly. They're great. Nobody is against it, and that may be part of the problem. Part of the problem may be that there's not an opposition, so there's not a debate. The goal is to make better citizens. The goal is not to have young people pick up trash for a year. The goal is to give everybody a shared experience, so when they get later in life, they've dealt with people from outside their zip code, from outside their social circle, and they've also contributed. They become part owner in America. And you know, if you've ever had to work for something, you treat it differently afterward.
Right.
And so I think that there ought to be civilian national service for every young American, and I think it should be a priority.
You know, it's so interesting. We had Ted Cruz on yesterday talking about this new proposal that he's gotten behind to give a savings account essentially to every American that's born, that they put in $1,000 and you watch it grow over time. And it's been a great idea to let young people see how that would grow. I wonder if you could combine it with something like that to say, okay, we're going to give you this savings account, maybe put some additional money in it through the years, but you have to do this service in order to get it when you turn 18.
I like that. I like that little wrinkle to the plan.
It's not just a giveaway. It's we want to invest in you, but we want you to invest in America in return.
I think any version like the GI Bill, where you do something, you don't feel like you got something for nothing afterward.
Right.
And I think it's civilian service is the other side of the same coin. How do you serve the nation?
Right. General, the book is called On Character. We appreciate you joining us this morning, and it's an important and worthy topic that we should all be talking a lot more about.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you.